Alright, what is going on everyone? Welcome to today's video. If you are new here, my name is Richardson. I am a personal trainer and a chemical engineer. And in today's video, I am going to talk about 5 foods that are making you fatter. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because it's going to teach you how to live a healthy, sustainable life through nutrition, through fitness, and lifestyle decisions that you make in general. So go ahead and subscribe and turn those notification bells on too so that you don't miss out on any of my latest content. Now, make sure you stick around for the whole video because when you know all 5 of these foods and you learn how to cut them out of your diet, that's going to make the most progress in terms of what is keeping you from losing weight. So make sure you watch the whole thing and you check out all 5 of these foods. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So number 1 on my list, and I'm starting with this one because most people think this is a healthy food, but number 1 on my list is nuts. So the reason nuts are making you fat is because nuts are very high in calories and they are not filling at all. So I could eat like 500 calories worth of almonds or something for a snack, but I've just eaten 500 calories and it does nothing for my appetite. I mean, zero, nilch, nothing. I can eat that and I'm still hungry. It does nothing to suppress your appetite, and it's very calorically dense. Furthermore, nuts also contain high degrees of polyunsaturated fats, and I made a whole video about polyunsaturated fats. If you want to check it out, it's up here. And I go into a little bit more detail on why polyunsaturated fats are so unhealthy, but most nuts in general are pretty high in polyunsaturated fats, and you want to avoid those because, in a nutshell, no pun intended, polyunsaturated fats are very unstable in the presence of heat and oxygen, which are very prevalent within your body. And once you consume those and they're inside your body, they're going to wreak all kinds of oxidative damage on anything it can, really. So that's kind of the gist of it. I won't go into too much detail, but anyway, nuts are definitely bad, and that's the reason why nuts are making you fat. Stop eating so many nuts because most people think they're healthy and they're just not. All right, so number 2 on my list is peanut butter. Oh man, it drives me insane how on the label of most peanut butter containers it says good source of protein. No, it's not. Like, peanut butter is so high in calories because there's so much fat in it. There's like 7 grams of protein per serving and I don't know, an insane amount of fat, like 11 or 12 grams of fat or something like that. Most of the calories are from the fat. And like, it takes a very little amount of peanut butter to add up to like 200 calories. And it's just not a good source of protein. So that drives me insane when not just the peanut butter containers, but people claim that peanut butter is a good source of protein. No, it's not. It's so calorically dense, it's making you fat. So stop eating so much peanut butter. You can eat a little bit of peanut butter because, you know, peanut butter tastes awesome. But, you know, don't make peanut butter the source of your protein. Like, that will make you fat. And again, kind of the same thing with the nuts thing. Peanut butter's not filling. 200 calories worth of peanut butter, or even 400 calories for that matter. Just go eat 400 or 500 calories worth of peanut butter. It does nothing for your appetite. Like, you can eat that for a snack and it does nothing for you. So that's why some of these foods, if you're noticing a pattern yet, that's why these foods are making you fat, because they're very high in calories and they don't do anything for your appetite. They don't suppress your appetite. They don't satisfy your hunger. That's the key with all this stuff. So no nuts, no peanut butter. Let's get into number 3, which is cheese. Again, good source of protein. Yeah, there's protein in it, but this is like one of the reasons why pizza is not a great food, because pizza has a lot of cheese on it and there's a lot of fat in cheese and there's carbs in the crust with pizza and stuff and in the sauce and whatnot, but there's not a lot of protein, and that's one of the reasons why pizza's really not that filling. So again, you might be noticing the trend by now. And by cheese, I mean like full fat cheese. So I'll eat things like low fat cottage cheese or low fat shredded cheese. Those are much better options because it still has some fat in it, but that fat to protein ratio, it's much better in low fat choice cheeses like that. So I'd definitely recommend you still incorporate some of those into your diet. And yeah, there's a lot of calcium in cheese, so it does have some nutritional value. Most dairy products in general are a good source of calcium. But I mean, same thing with the peanut butter. Like, there is protein in cheese, but a lot of it is fat. And that's where you kind of have to be careful with this kind of thing. And man, all I'm saying is Americans are really, really good at throwing cheese on stuff, especially fried stuff. And that kind of leads me into food number 4, vegetable oil. So it's kind of appropriate that I've kind of made this segue into it, because fried foods combined with like cheese and stuff, there's nothing more fattening than you could probably get. Not even like just fattening, calorie dense. That's the focus with all this stuff, is calorie density. Calorie density, plus it does nothing for your appetite. So fried foods, they don't do a lot for your appetite. I don't know about you guys, but I could eat fried chicken and like I'd need to eat quite a bit of it before I actually started feeling full. Same with the peanut butter, same with the nuts, same with the cheese. You have to eat a lot of those foods to get to the point where you actually feel full. Now, another reason that vegetable oil is just atrocious, it's like a few carbon molecules away from just being a piece of plastic. But anyway, vegetable oil is also high in polyunsaturated fats. So again, my video on PUFAs, if you want to check that out, feel free to. There's a lot of good educational content in there. That's a lot more of like an educational video than it is a nutrition tips video sort of thing. But it's interesting, so check it out if you want to. But vegetable oil is very, very high in polyunsaturated fats. And another thing to consider is that most restaurants use vegetable oils in their fryers when they fry food because it is cheap. So keep that in mind when you go out to restaurants and you go out to eat at restaurants, especially if you're getting fast food or fried foods and stuff, they're probably drowning it in vegetable oil because vegetable oil is cheap and that's how restaurants maximize their profits, and that's just business. So keep that in mind when you're going out to eat. And then number 5 on my list is fatty meats. So again, this is the go-to choice for restaurants because more fatty meats are cheaper. So eating 80-20 beef versus eating 93-7 beef, there's a night and day difference in terms of how calorically dense these two are. You always want to opt for the leaner stuff. So that's why things like chicken breast and even chicken thighs aren't that bad, or chicken tenderloins, lean ground beef like 90-10, that's pretty good, 93-7, that's a little bit better. 96-4 is like ideal personally. I mean, but like 80-20 beef, 85-15, that stuff is pretty fattening. And another thing that you want to consider is that all of the synthetic chemicals, they are stored in the fat during the meat processing. So all those chemicals that they use in meat processing, they accumulate in the fat. So if you buy leaner fats, you're limiting the amount of synthetic chemicals that you're actually ingesting into your body. So if you go for like a 93-7 or a 96-4 ground beef or something like that, first off, you're not consuming as many calories because there's not as much fat content in it. And 2, because there's not as much fat content in it, you're not ingesting as many synthetic chemicals into your body, and that's a good thing. Your endocrine system will thank you for that. So always opt for leaner meats, leaner cuts of steak if you're into steak. I'm a big fan of fish, like not fatty fish, white fishes and stuff like that. Cod, orange roughies, one of my favorite. Even salmon's pretty good. Salmon's got some fat on it, but yeah, salmon's definitely great. Most fish in general is pretty good to consume. Tuna, that's another one that I was thinking of. But again, the general trend, leaner meats, more lean meats. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of fat in them. A little bit of fat in your diet, it is good because fat, like your body factually needs fat. But it also needs protein and it also needs carbs. But at the end of the day, The trend with all of these foods is that they're calorically dense and they don't fill you up. And that's really the key to sustainable nutrition, is finding foods that you really like, foods that fill you up, and foods that are relatively low in calories. That's how you master this stuff at the end of the day. So those are 5 foods that are making you fat. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And again, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be posting content like this very regularly, at least every week. So subscribe, turn the notifications on so that you don't miss out on my latest content. If you made it to the end, thanks a lot for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.